Yes, 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 yes. Great day in Pennsylvania. Great day in the US. Yes, we are live. Special coverage tonight. Special coverage tonight on the voice of SINOE. Make sure we have good sound quality here to make sure our sound is in good shape. In Pennsylvania, great day in the US. Yes, we are live. Yeah. Special coverage tonight. Testing it? Yeah, I'm testing it. Testing, Prudence. Let Daddy get done, okay?
I know how to do something.
Yeah, you want to see? Let us see you do it. Yay! Testing. They're hearing you, though. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, you got to share this show. You got to share. We have exclusive tonight. Madam Smith, Honorable Dowie, you guys got to share the show tonight. We're gonna drop the bomb tonight. Yes.
See, this is my daughter.
So while we are getting ready to start the show, I want to tell you, I hear something.
You have to say, this is my daughter.
Okay. You want to come here so you can see? So I'm going to show you that. This is my daughter, Prudence. Prudence Namalewulu Freeman. Is that better now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Excellent. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I hear something. And so the thing that I heard, I will share with you tonight. So share the show and we'll be right back. Let's listen to something here. I hear something.
I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't I hear something, 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 I hear something. Destiny, they can't stop my destiny. 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 So much hoping for me. That's hoping for you. So much hoping for me. You don't want me play a road. You get gali, but you let potato. You get gali, but you let potato. I hear something, 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 I hear something. I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't. I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't. I hear something, 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 I hear something. You get gali, but you let potato. 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 You don't want me play a road. Your place boss, respect with. Your place boss, your respect with. Your place boss, your respect with. Your place boss, your respect with. I hear something, 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 I hear something. I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't. I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't. I hear something, 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 I hear something
this. I hear something. I hear something. I hear something. And I will tell you the thing. When your plastic bursts, the respect will whisk. When plastic bursts, your respect whisk. Somebody plastic bursts. Doctor, I put the esoteric. When your plastic bursts, your respect worsts. It whisks all over the place. Scatter. When your plastic bursts, your respect whisks. I hear something. I hear something. Have you heard what I heard? You gotta share with your friends so they can hear what has happened. I hear something. I hear something. I'll play that music one more. I hear something. I gotta hear that again.
I hear something. 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 I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I hear something. 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 Destiny, they can't stop my destiny. 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 So my hoping for me. So my hoping for me. Let's hoping for you. So my hoping for me. You don't want me play a role. You get gali, but you let potato. You get gali, but you let potato. I hear something. 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 I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I hear something. 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 You get gali, but you let potato. 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 You don't want me play a role. Your place boss, respect with. Your place boss, your respect with. Your place boss, your respect with. Your place boss, your respect with. I hear something. 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 I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it.
I hear something. I hear something. I hear something. I hear something. When the plastic bursts, the respect whisks all over the place. Plastic busts. The plastic is scattered. The respect all over the place. Your respect whisks. Like Brother Man said, your respect whistle. Your respect whisks. When plastic bursts, your respect whisks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of SINOE special edition of the show. I'm happy tonight because of eventually liberation has come. And so before I get this show on the way here, we got to pop the champagne. You know what I'm saying? The champagne got to be popped, you know, because when the plastic busts, your respect whistle. Let me open the bottle first. We honor. Yes, we got to pop the champagne. All right. Let me pour some here, and I will pour a libation to our ancestor so that we can get their blessings. So now at this point, I have to pour a libation to the elders. Yes. Well, we just poured a libation to the elder. And now we are getting their blessings. Woohoo! Let me lubricate my esophagus and irrigate my entrails. That's how you put it. Yeah. The program wizard again. You want to hear what I got to say here again. You got to share the show. I want 20%. Right now I got 17. You guys are not sharing the show. I just 18% now. So we need 20 before I start the show here. Yeah. Woo! When they plaster bus, you respect whiz. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the special edition, special coverage of Voice of SINOE in the diaspora. And yesterday we told you on the Voice of SINOE, there was something called the 2 rooms on the Voice of SINOE. We call the factual room and the speculation room. And so yesterday we gave you information from the speculation room. And I told you the information will gradually, eventually get in the factual room. And so now the information is in the factual room. So that's why we are saying what is in the factual room of VOSD, or Voice of SINOE in the diaspora. All right. So before I disclose what is in the factual room, we want to use the time to welcome all of our guests, all of our followers. You can also follow us on YouTube. You just go to Madison Freeman on YouTube. We are also live there right now. You can follow the show from there. Okay? I just want to give you that information, but I want to say thank you so much for taking up your time to come and follow the show. You know, the most informative show, at least SINOE related, that can give the information without sugarcoating it. We'll give it to you unembellished. Raw. Yes, so that's what we're going to do tonight. Now, so this is what I'm about to tell you tonight, fellow citizens, especially members of the United SARPO Association in Americas. I don't know whether it's a sad news or it's a good news, but depending on who you talk to, the information I'm about to put out, depending on which side you fall on, it will be a good news for you. If you're on, because you got left and right, you got up and down, east and west, and so on and so forth. So if you're on the south, for example, you're going to be lamenting, we're going to be crying tonight. It's not a good news for you. But when you are on the right, it is time to rejoice. It's time to celebrate because freedom has come at last. Let me check this sound right here. If my sound is okay on your side, I want to do my sound check for the last time here. West. And so on and so forth. So if you're honest. Great. My sound is wonderful. So let's start with the first thing here that I want to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This one, it call this preliminary. So we can warm up. You know, when you get on the soccer field, you don't just start, you know, when you go practice, right? You don't just start get on the field, you start playing. You know, you got to warm up, you know, and stuff like that. You know, so your strength, you know, your energies can start popping up before you get on the field and start to do the real thing. All right, so let me get to, I try to get to the bullet point right here before we get the ball rolling here. Where's my bullet point? So, excuse me, guys. Where's my bullet point? Saved that earlier. Talking point. All right, I deal with this quickly. I call that before we get to the juice or the meat of the show tonight. Let me see what I can listen to my own sound here. Let me put the headphones on. Before we get to the major topic tonight, let me turn the thing around. Sorry, guys. We first want to do a preliminary. And the preliminary has to do with the national, should I say formal national? Okay, let me just remain as national right now. until I put out the breaking news. The National Secretary General, Mr. Andrew Usaa, considers following the Constitution of the United States Association in America as bureaucratic, and therefore it is unacceptable. I think that's a typo over there, but that's fine. All right, let me make a quick correction. I think I hear when I get typo. So quickly. Good. I think this will be good now for my talking point. All right. So National Secretary General Honorable Mr. Andrew Usaa considers following the Constitution of the USAA as bureaucratic, and therefore it is unacceptable. If that is not alarming to you, well, for me it is alarming. Mr. Usaa is signatory to the Constitution, or at least the revised Constitution of the United States Association in the Americas. But the recent video that we have, the Secretary General just came from Liberia. He's the advanced team for, should I say, former president. The secretary came yesterday and was addressing a few members of the union, few members in the living room of, I don't know where they had that, but in somebody's living room. It's not even 1% or fraction of the population of the United States Association. And so basically the secretary was addressing his base, I should say. And so he said, following the Constitution is bureaucratic. What that means is that don't follow any rules. No, following rules, following the Constitution, which Mr. Andrew Usaa signed, because he was the secretary to the committee that revised the Constitution. So Honorable Usaa is now telling us, because he came from Liberia, following the Constitution is bureaucratic. Don't take it from me. Let me play the quick video for you. All right? Let me play the video before we get to the real breaking news. And I will take you in the breaking news or in the factual room of Voice of SINOE to share, I don't know, disturbing information or elational information or euphoric information, whatever you want to term it. Let me go there quickly for you. Let me get this video out here. And now listen to our erstwhile Secretary General, Honorable Usaa, addressing the people yesterday. You are addressing few members of our union, and this is what he said.
Matter short, we have softened the ground in SINOE country already. Thank you. I mean, softening is that there were so many petitions we received, ranging from agricultural education. Yep. So, I got a list. I got every team on. Video evidence. There were students that came to us, now the 6th grade, we get girl. No computers. We don't wear fee, but we get one transportation. You must have made it know. Then the teachers came to us from our same point and said, you know, happy. These are volunteer teachers. They're teaching every day. You're getting your sin. Took that note. So many petitions. Once you will stay in America, advocating for the association, association, we got money in the account, and people then will say, no, go to bureaucracy.
Yes. When you are advocating for the people, and the people say you should go through bureaucracy, all right? No, don't go through bureaucracy. It was Mr. Usaa, one of the guys who established the so-called bureaucracy that he's now referring to. And what he calls bureaucracy is following the Constitution. The Constitution of the United States Association establishes 3 branches. We got the National Executive, the National General Assembly, if you like, General Assembly. And follows by that, we have the Board of Directors, and we have the National Executive Committee. all those three bodies, they have their functions. Okay, so Mr. Usaa is saying, if the board performs her function, that is bureaucratic, and they can't take that. They just want to do things arbitrarily. Don't follow any rules. Don't put the Constitution aside. Let them ready anytime when they're ready in Minnesota, they can go in the account and take money from there. Because what? If you follow what we put in place, it will waste our time. It's bureaucratic. Hence, let's put that document away. Let's put all the guidelines away. And that is why when the board of directors, when they instructed the president to put in guidelines, especially, for example, for bereavement and celebrations and those things, that was one of the resolutions that came from North Dakota. Guess what? The guys, the Secretary General, they're not doing work. And so he's coming, he just came from Liberia and telling the people, it is bureaucratic to follow the Constitution. We are softening the ground in Liberia, and all we have to do right now is just go in there and just pillage. Just go and loot the account and do whatever we want to do. Don't follow any rules. Now, United SARPO Association is now in the state of nature. No rule. Everyone is a king. Everyone is a queen. We are now in Charles Darwin jungle. The survivors of the survival of the fittest, the dying of the least suitable. That's what we have right now. That's what the Honorable Secretary General is now advocating. Don't follow rules because it's called bureaucracy. Don't follow that. It's bureaucratic. Now listen to him.
We have softened the ground in some country already. Thank you. Softening is that there were so many petitions we received, ranging from agriculture to education. Yep. I got a list. I got every team on. Video evidence. There were students that came to us. Now the 6th grade, we get here. No computers. We don't want to fee, but we get one transportation. You must have made it know. Then the teachers came to us from our same point and said, you know what, these are volunteer teachers. They're teaching every day. You're getting your sin. Took that note. So many petitions. What you will see in America, advocating for the association, association, we got money in the account, and people then will say, no, go to bureaucracy.
Wow. We got money in our account, and the people say we can't go through bureaucracy. You serious? So the guys, it's all about money. Now we have $100,000, over $100,000 in our account. Don't follow the rules. It's bureaucratic. They do anything. They'll go on the teleconference and call that General Assembly so we can take a vote. So we can go take the money. We're not following what the board should not do her work. No, that board is just wasting our time. That document I worked on for several days and if not months, that thing should be trashed. It's bureaucratic. All right, so that's your national, or should I say former National Secretary General, Honorable Andrew Usaa. It is bureaucratic to follow our Constitution, the rules that we agreed on to follow. The General Assembly, they approved, they endorsed that document. But Mr. Usaa is saying it's bureaucratic. All right. And I mean, all along, I have been wanting to hear from the National Secretary, but eventually he's out. He has been playing cool, trying to distance himself from the miasma of the national president, the conundrum the president's in. You're trying to distance himself, but you know he can't run for too long. Eventually, he's out now. But the saddle got him. Bureaucratic. When he said bureaucratic, you know, he said that too many things, so many rules you have to follow. Don't follow this one. What the Constitution said, no, just go and do anything. The people pay their money, that just go and give it because we talk no in Johnson, in Kabade, and the people say, and da. And so we took the no now. We soften the ground already. Let's go to America and don't follow the rules. That is bureaucratic. Now, that being said, let's go to the major thing tonight. And that was preliminary. That was just for warm up. Just trying to titillate and to kind of tease, to horn your appetite. You know your appetite is not up now. And so mine is up to, and so I like to irrigate my entrails one more time because tonight is a good night, and so I gotta pop the champagne here. Woohoo! Woohoo! That's how you put it. Monyang bay, monsula. But if you're the people say, the America is speaking to the original Sayapode. Yes, the great, or it was the greatest Afrocentric thinker. I put African things at the center of whatever I do because that's what I am. So come in Sayapode. I'm the first in every part of the things. Okay, Sayapode. Say that word. If you don't know it, I want you to say Sayapode. Sayapode. Yes, the first in every positive things, not negative. I'm the first in every good things. Okay, Sayapode. All right, let's get to what I got here for you. For our breaking news here, special coverage that brought us out here tonight. And so before we bring that out, we want to do this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's breaking news from Voice of SINOE here. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news from the factual realm of Voice of SINOE says the national president of the United SARPO Association, Geleo, has been expelled by the National Board of Directors in keeping with the Constitution. Damn it, that's a serious news over there. USAA National Board of Directors expelled National President Geleo in keeping with Constitution. You see, the board members are constitutionalists. And so when you contravene the Constitution, you will get the ramification. You will get some consequences. All right. So before we go any further here, let me see something here. Let me put something out here quickly for you before we bring out the breaking news in details. Let's see. Where is my replica here? That's the Honorable President who has been expelled on constitutional grounds on alleged malfeasance, calling to the Board of Directors. And we're coming to that document again. Again, let's play that breaking news. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the national president of the United SARPO Association in the Americas, Honorable Geleo, has been fired by the board of directors of the United SARPO Association on constitutional grounds. The board of directors, the communications that are in our possession right now, which we will share with you, several things were highlighted in that communication. Three major things. The first thing the board of directors stipulated and said in that communication, President Geleo is engaged into alleged malfeasance. In other words, that's corruption. Taking money from the organization's account without the approval of the board of directors, that is a violation of the Constitution. Number two, the board of directors, they indicated in their communications, I got several of them. They indicated that the elders council, they broke a deal, and they get some rules and guidelines to follow. The president and his team, they failed to adhere to the stipulation of the interim agreement. Third, the board of directors indicated that the president is not listening to them. Per the Constitution, in the absence of the board of directors or the National Assembly, the board of directors are in charge, but the president is not listening to them. On that grounds, the president term expired August 2020. And so because of that, the reason he was in power is because of the deal that was brokered about the Elders Council, but the president is not following that, so the board now is in charge of the organization. The chairman of the board of directors, Mr. Usaa, is now the acting president or the acting head of the organization until a new leader is elected or new leaders are elected. So now know your acting leader of the that's Mr. Usaa, the chairman of the board of directors. That's right now the gavel of the United States Association. The communications in our possession. They made a call for the president, the previous president, I should say, former president, to turn over all documents in his possession to the office of the chairman expeditiously. I will give you the time frame as soon as I go through. I'll be going through the communications right now. All right, let's get to those communications right now. To show you what in detail what the board said with respect to the inspection or the constitutional inspection or inspection of the national president. All right, let me get to the first communication out there for you. Maybe it's not too legible on your side. I will read it from my end. Let's see here quickly. President Geleo expels Baltic's charge. All right, let's read that communication quickly, and maybe you want to see my beautiful face. Excuse me, guys. Let me get to this communication quickly here. So you can be properly informed of the development from the United SARPO Association. President Geleo now is considered former president. Let me read the communication and we'll elaborate further. All right, so this is the first communication here from the board. They got a couple of them that came to the office, the information room of Voice of SINOE here. So it says here, let me take that down so you can see my elegant face. Good. So yeah, the communication here, the first one I just put out, United SARPO Association in Americas, USAA, Honorable Usaa, National Chairman, Board of Directors. The guy address, everything over here listed, Bear, Delaware, blah, blah, blah. The email address, everything listed, the number, everything here. This communication was dated April 5th, 2021, which is today. So this is fresh, okay? It's not antiquated, it's not old school news I'm about to give you. Today, the 5th of April, 2021, President Geleo was expelled officially by the board of directors. I said that the management, Wells Fargo, this communication, they address it to Wells Fargo when we're keeping our money, okay? So you got to know that this is serious. The guys are not playing here. They wrote the bank already, the banking institution that we are banking with of the United SARPO Association, if you like. And so Wells Fargo Bank, 420 Montgomery Street, San Francisco, California, and they put all the information there. Then they said, dear sir or madam, on behalf of the General Assembly and the Board of Directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas, USAA, I bring you greetings. The USAA or Usaa is presently banking with the Wells Fargo Bank, and the organization has made some important changes to the account and deem it necessary to inform you of such development. Okay? It goes on to say the signatories okay, that the people that who signature right now on the account, okay? The signatories to the USAA's account or national account, Mr. Green Geleo, number 1, 2, Mr. Joseph Yanwale, aka Darius G. Mohan, and Mr. Otika Morris, aka Otika Soin. Terms of office have expired, and as such are no longer signatories to the account. Okay, so as we speak right now, based on this communication, Mr. Moen Otika Soen, Mr. Moen, the national president, they are no longer signatory to the account, to our bank account, per the communication that I'm reading right now. Let's go on. Otika Soen terms of office have expired and as such are no longer signatory to the account. In view of the above mentioned development, the Board of Directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas, on behalf of the General Assembly, have made the above changes to safeguard the finances of the organization until new officials are elected and their names are forwarded to the bank. All right? So right now, all those guys' names have been removed to President Geo, Mr. Moen, who is the treasurer for the organization, the financial secretary, Mr. Otika Soen. Their names are no longer, according to the communication, the forwarder, the guys' names they are no longer legitimate. And so the bank should not do any transaction with them until new names are forwarded to the bank. Okay? Now go ahead. Board of Directors would like to request that neither the individuals mentioned above nor any other persons are granted authorization to transact business with the Wells Fargo Bank in the name of the United SARPO Association in Americas until further notice. The communication went on. The writing, the financial institution, please note that the members of the Board of Directors draw authority from the USAA's bylaw and constitution. Okay, they are telling you where they're getting the authority from. Okay, they are not saying we get it from the sky. No, they say we are our authority is etched in the constitution and the bylaw of the organization. Please note the members of the Board of Directors draw authority from the USAA's bylaws and constitution. They come and give you specifics now. Listen. Article 13, 110, okay, 13, right? Article 13, section 2.1, which states, in the absence of the General Assembly, all corporate powers shall be exercised by or under the authority of the Board, and the affairs of the United SARPO Association in Americas shall be managed under the direction of the Board, except as otherwise provided by these bylaws. Okay, so the guys are invoking their authority, the powers are the power that the Constitution gives them. In the absence of the General Assembly, the Board is in charge. They went on to say, it is also essential to inform you that the United SARPO Association in Americas opened 2 separate accounts. Project account ending in 1306 and operations account ending in 2044 with Wells Fargo's Bank. The accounts were originally opened in Jacksonville, Florida, and were managed by the former national president, Mr. Obako Yuma. Please be advised that as of the date that you received this communication during business with Mr. G. Geleo, Green Geleo, Mr. Joseph Yanwale, Mr. Otika Morris, or any other individual who is not authorized by the Board of Directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas in writing shall be illegal. Thanks for your kind cooperation. Sincerely yours, Usaa SARGBEH, Chairman of the Board of Directors, United SARPO Association in the Americas. Now, and that is the first communication from the office of the chairman. So it's clear. So the first step they took is to write the financial institution to safeguard our money, because the former, I should say, former leadership, the guys have been reckless with our money, and so the board, they have been bending down and trying to soften up to make sure that there shouldn't be commotion, there shouldn't be palaver in the organization, but the guys are intransigent. All right, they don't want to listen, and so the board now, they say, you know what? We are vertebrate animal. We got backbones and hands. We're going to straighten our backbones and expel you. Now let's go to the next communication here. The second communication from the office of the chairman or the board of directors, if you like. This one, United SARPO Association in the Americas, on Usaa SARGBEH, National Chairman, Board of Directors, and they put his address and everything over there. Is also dated April 5th, 2021. Green Code Geleo, National President, United SARPO Association in the Americas, Minnesota. Dear Mr. Green Code Geleo, now they wrote the bank first. Now the next communication, now they are writing Green Code Geleo, the former president of the USA. They say, on behalf of the board of directors of the United SARPO Association in the Americas, I bring you greetings. Over the months, the board of directors has observed with grave concerns the rising waves of misinformation, unauthorized withdrawal. Damn it, those are strong language. Listen to that. I'll read that line again. Over the months, the board of directors has observed with grave concerns the rising waves of misinformation, false information. They're not telling people truth. Misinformation. Unauthorized withdrawal of money. Unauthorized withdrawal of money from the United SARPO Association in America's national account and disregard of the interests of the SARPO people. It's a very crucial line over there. It has a lot of things in it. The guys unauthorized, meaning that the board did not give them the national president and his team the permission to take money from the account. And so whatever they are doing is illegal. It's not under the law. It's not covered by our constitution. All right? So I went on to say, the national account and disregard of the interests of the SARPO people. Your actions have created unconducive atmosphere for progress and the potential to destroy the unity of the SARPO people. Yes. It has the potential. It has the proclivity. It has the pension. It has the inclination, the ability to put our union asunder. And so the guy said we have to rescue the union now by ejecting this guy from the national office. So they went on, cognizant of the rising waves of actions intended to create division within our union, the board of directors convened at an emergency teleconference held on Sunday, February 28, 2021, proposed and approved the following resolutions based on a simple majority vote. Simple majority vote. The board of directors resolved. These are the resolutions from their meeting, the 28th meeting they held, February 28th. Number one, that your term of office, Mr. Green Code Geleo as national president, has expired. It is therefore expedient that you cease from functioning as national president of the United SARPO Association in Americas. That's the first resolution. The second one, that all members of the National Executive Committee who were elected with you, term of office has also expired. Therefore, they must cease. They must cease to function in their respective positions. The board of directors is the legal entity entrusted with managing the affairs of the USAA and is working out plans for the peaceful transition of power through elections. That's resolution number 2. Resolution number 3 from the meeting, the February 28th meeting, that the board of directors will work with the USAA's chapter presidents and appoint the National Elections Commission to conduct the general elections in August 2021. Okay, so the board now is in charge. They will work with all the chapter presidents to set up the electoral commission for us to go to this August to go to Florida for new president to be elected. Resolution number 4, that Mr. G. Green Coach Geleo and all former executive committee members, listen to that, they say former, they don't say present. The guys are serious here. They're not joking here. It's a serious communication here. That Mr. G. Green Coach Geleo and all executive committee members who were duly elected with him, if duly qualified, all those guys that were elected along with President G. Coach Geleo, if they are qualified, if duly qualified, are eligible to contest the upcoming elections scheduled to be conducted during the gathering of the General Assembly in August 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida, USA. Resolution number 5. Now that you, the national president of the USAA, and the executive committee members who were elected with you are no longer officers of the USAA, the following USAA's bylaws and constitution provision is hereby invoked. Okay, see what they're invoking. Let's see. In the absence, okay, that's what gave them the power now. After they expelled the guys and they set out they give up what should be done and what should not be done. Yes, what gave them the authority. In the absence of the General Assembly, all corporate powers shall be exercised by or on the authority of the board, and the affairs of the United States Association in America shall be managed under the direction of the board, except as otherwise provided by these bylaws. That's Article 10, Section 2.1 of the United States Association Constitution. In short, the board of directors is the legal entity granted the authorization to manage the affairs of the United States Association in Americas until general elections are held in August 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida. So the chairman now is in charge. All the board members are in charge right now until the new leader is elected, a new president is elected. Resolution number 6. Please note that all documents belonging to USAA in your possession or in the possession of any member of the executive committee or committee members who were elected with you, they are talking to President Geleo, be turned over to the office of the chairman of the board of directors within 2 weeks as of April 5th, 2021. Resolution number 7. In addition, from the date of this letter, you, Mr. Geleo, and the other 2 signatories, Mr. Darius G. Moyne, a.k.a. Joseph Youngler, and Mr. Otika Swan, a.k.a. Otika Morris, to the USA's national accounts at its banking institution, Wells Fargo, are not authorized to make any further transactions on said accounts. Failure to adhere to the aforementioned directive will result into serious legal consequences for any violators. It's a strong language right there. The guys are not joking. The guys have been running around here forever. So the game is, the battle is on. Anybody to violate this, the guy said there will be serious legal consequences. They are taking you to court. You will face the weight of the law. And our Liberian law We're talking about the United States of America. The guys don't joke yet. Can't right now and go take money from there and go to Liberia and go beat drum. The last paragraph in this communication, as members of the board of directors, we believe that we were elected to guide, protect, or promote the mission and vision of USAA and not our personal interests. The plight of our people remains paramount to us. Therefore, let our words go forth. The united we stand. Long live our union. Long live the Republic of Liberia, and long live the United SARPO Association in Americas. Sincerely yours, Honorable Usaa, National Chairman of the United SARPO Association in Americas, now acting president of the Leviathan of the United SARPO Association. The nyumba yangu ya, I say found the I said no ya. You're terrified out of you. Now you are demonstrating to me that you are men. Yeah, you are not infant on the ball. The guy will be pushing you around. You give me instructions, the guy will flout. You go against it. This is why it's needed. We have documents. If somebody does not follow the Constitution, the document, we got to do something legal through the law and take the person from there. If the person is adamant, they want to be stubborn, intransigent, and everything else, we'll go through the law. There's nothing wrong. That's what the law was made for. The law was made for man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go to the next thing here. Before we go to the next thing, let me do something here. Yeah, let me do something here quickly. Let me get to something that I want to do. Let's go for a quick commercial. I hear something. I'll be right back.
I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't. I hear something, 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 I hear something. Destiny, they can't stop my destiny. 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 So my hoping for me. So my hoping for me. Let's hoping for you. So my hoping for me. No, no, I'm a player. You get Gali, but you let potato. I hear something, 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 I hear something. I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't. I won't tell you later, but Martin, I won't. I hear something, 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 I hear something. You get Gali, but you let potato. 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 No, no, I'm a player. Your place boss, respect with. Your place boss, your respect with.
Your plastic bus, your respect with. Where Gaza? Your plastic bus, your respect with. Where Gaza? I wish I could sing. Your plastic boss, Your respect with big casa. Your plastic burst, your respect waste. Big. What kind of disgrace is that? The dishonorable expulsion of President Geleo. Yes. Let me pop my champagne here. Hey, baby, you want to take us? Come on. Let's knock the glass here. Let's knock the glass. Come on. Let's both. It's a toast. Woo-hoo! Liberation of the people. I'm taking some little intoxicant here. Yes, I'm not driving. So let me get a little intoxicant. This is delicious. All right. So before I go to the next thing here, let me engage with your comments. I like to engage. I like to hear what the people are saying. All right. So let engage with your comments here. And I got more here on the Voice of SINOE. You don't want to leave. More on the way for you. I will start from bottom to top. Okay. So let me see the comments that are trending right now. All right. So the first comment here is from our former national vice president, Honorable Taffen. He said, according to the language and the communication just read by you, the hosts, members of the executive are not expelled, but expired, sir. Okay. But that's constitutional expulsion. Constitutional expulsion. Your time expired per the Constitution, you are expelled. That's what I meant. That's constitutional expulsion. All right. I'm not saying the board expelled you. I'm saying the Constitution expelled you per the expiration of the tenure. Now let's go to the next one here. According to the language in the communication read by the host, the members of the executive, okay, that's the same statement. Let's see here. I'm watching with you. That is the incoming national vice president, Mr. William Mane. Welcome aboard, sir. Let me also welcome our former vice president, Honorable Godset Taffen. Welcome aboard, sir. Let me see the next statement here. We have all the leaders are on board tonight. The president of the Red River Valley chapter, Honorable Tello and Kolo, the M for Nyoswa, for God. The man is a God. Okay. So when the God is not beyond President Geleo, it's a problem. You need a God beyond you to succeed. Not the imaginary God. You're talking about the real one, the tangible one, that controlling the Red River Valley. You say, I'm watching from Red River Valley, North Dakota, USA. Thank you, Mr. President, for following. On the Mr. T. Semley Panton. At Tape Zarzan. It depends on the interim arrangement brokered with the Elders Council. All right, so you are responding to Tape. Let me see what Tape said here. What happened to the VP? He or she should be the next president. Okay, well, how so? If President Ria leaves power, Drew Howard Taylor will be in power, will be the president? No. The president and his disciples are out. Let's see here. Let me go to the next. Kit Jabba Tapping. Where is my dictionary? You're talking about the hard copy or the soft? All you have to do go online. Just put, any word that I use, just put to Google and say, what is loquacious? What is ubiquitous? What is expulsion? Google will break it down. All right, so Austin Sampson also following the Voice of SINOE. He said, good evening, my dear brother. How you doing, sir? Welcome aboard. Let me see. And imagine, the chair lady of the Delaware Valley chapter. Oh, Lord. Okay, so these are the comments that I'm seeing so far. Watching. Okay, Mr. Panto, thanks for following. All right, so these are the comments that I'm seeing so far from the viewers. So let's continue with our breaking news here with more details related to the constitutional expulsion of President Geleo and his followers or disciples. let's see here. Let me get to this right here. And before we go into further details here, all right, beautiful people on the beautiful vibration of Dark Side for the Esoteric. Welcome to breaking news from the United SARPO Association in Americas. President Geleo has been expelled constitutionally. All right, let me qualify that language so the Vice President Captivity, the former Vice President Captivity, to quote. Okay, all right, so let's get to the further information from the board of directors here. Where they said the communication that they sent to the national president and all the legitimate institutions in the U.S. Let's see the last communication here for you, what they both said. Here's the next communication here. It says, it's also written today, the United SARPO Association, April. Let me get my beautiful face there so you can see me. On April 5th, again, 2021, bold resolution. Okay, so let's look at the bold resolution here. A special teleconference of the board of directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas, Usaa, a non-profit entity duly established and registered with the state of North Carolina, was called to order on February 28, 2021. At the commencement of the teleconference, excuse me, guys, it was found that a quorum of the board of directors was present. The following resolutions were proposed, approved, and adopted. All right, let's see what they adopted so you can know. Whereas, those are the resolutions, listen, from the meeting. A special teleconference of the board of directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas, a non-profit entity duly established and registered with the state of North Carolina, was called to order on February 28, 2021. At the commencement of the teleconference, it was found that a quorum of the board of directors was present. The following resolutions were proposed, approved, and adopted. Number one, whereas the Constitution and bylaws of the United SARPO Association, which is the organic law that governs both the status, standard, and the day-to-day operations of the association, requires the allegiance of all members and officers of the union. Whereas Article 13, the General Assembly, Article 12, the General Assembly, Section 3 states, 8, General Assembly, in parentheses, shall have the power to conduct elections every 3 years for members of the Board of Directors and members of the National Executive Committee at the face-to-face National Convention, and 8 shall also meet once a year to review the activities within the association. Whereas the Constitution further states in Section 3.1 terms, all directors, listen to this, all directors shall be elected to serve their required and stipulated term. However, the term may be extended until a successor has been elected. See, so the guys are still covered by the Constitution. Until the successor of the board of directors are elected, they are still legitimate. So they are in charge of the organization. Whereas the USA Constitution further stipulates in Article 13, Section 2.1, that In the absence of the General Assembly, all corporate powers shall be exercised or on the authority of the board, and affairs of the United States Association in Americas shall be managed on the direction of the board, except as otherwise provided by the bylaws. All right. Whereas the term of office of the executive committee expired. Okay. Whereas the term of office of the executive committee expired. So now what the former vice president referring to is expired. I shouldn't say expelled. Yeah. A constitutional expulsion. Okay, the term expired, sir. Whereas the term of office of the executive committee expired in August 2020, and the board of directors was obliged to lead USA until the national elections, but the action of the board of directors was suspended pending the outcome of the discussions with the elders. Whereas, in the interest of peace, the group of elders in the SARPO community residing in the United States of America, headed by Reverend John GBLAH, appealed to the board of directors to negotiate a power sharing agreement based on two conditions. The basis of the power sharing agreement is as follows. A, that a joint committee be formed to comprise of board members, executive committee members, and no more than one elder added, to form and to draft some leadership guidelines to serve as roadmap to manage USAA through the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, those are the agreement they came up with. Listen, let me read that again. A, that a joint committee be formed. Joint, okay, so they got the board and the executive, okay, that a joint committee be formed to comprise the board members, executive committee members, and no more than one elder. At least one elder should be part of that team too, okay, no more than one. Excuse me. One elder added to form and to draft, okay, some leadership guidelines to serve as roadmap to manage USA through the coronavirus pandemic. B, that all previously approved projects are funded, but avoid spending of funds on new projects until after the national elections. Okay, so the stipulation was all the projects that were previously approved, let it spend the money, whatever approved, that the money be spent and take it, but nothing new after that. 3, or C, that the president, Mr. Geleo, set up an election commission to prepare the organization for general elections to be held in August 2021. The president negated or he declined to do that. And that's one of the reasons why the board of directors took the action. The guy doesn't want to do the work. And constitutionally, the term expired. They went on to say, whereas after months of negotiation with the leadership of the National Executive Committee, they negotiated with the president and the team. After months, they not say month, they say months. So it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on and so forth. Whereas after months of negotiation with the leadership of the National Executive Committee, the president and his team of leaders rejected the elders' proposal and further begun a new unscrupulous practice. Unscrupulous, okay? It's not scrupulous, it's not wise. Unscrupulous practice, okay? Unscrupulous practice of making unauthorized. It's not authorized, it's not permitted, it's not approved, okay, by the board. Unscrupulous practice of making unauthorized withdrawal of money from the United States Association account, Association in America's national account. The one to say, whereas after months of unwavering requests for the submission of the financial report, which is required quarterly, quarterly of every 4 months, okay, 4 months, they have to make a report. Required quarterly as stipulated within the Constitution. was finally submitted to the board of directors after several months of delay. After several months, they don't give an exact months. Okay, after delay, they delay everything. The guys do, they do things at their own volition. The acting, the secretary, the former secretary just told us, oh, the bureaucracy here, don't follow that. You just do our own thing. Okay. The financial report, however, revealed the withdrawal of monies, okay, plural, from the national account of USA without authorization or approval of the board of directors on several occasions. Okay. The action of unauthorized withdrawals of money from the USAA national bank account by members of the executive committee is a violation of the bylaw and constitution of the association, and therefore is unconstitutional. All right. I wanted to say, whereas the president forwarded a voucher. The president forwarded a voucher to the board requesting the approval of funds for one of the board members who is unemployed due to illness. And whereas the board loved and welcomed the idea of helping all sick members of USAA, as a result, the board voted and resolved that a health policy be developed for the association to cater to the needs of the members who are sick and unemployed, like in the case of Honorable Shadiman. On February 10, 2021, the board of directors wrote and officially informed the national president to develop a national emergency health policy and resist the temptation of disbursing funds from USA bank account without the authorization of the board of directors. They wanted to say, after receiving the cordial, a letter from the board, the president, Mr. Geleo, defiantly directed the finance committee to disburse the sum of $2,500 to Honorable Dorothy Shadiman without writing a national emergency health policy as requested by the board of directors. See? And these are the things that got President Geleo in problem. He doesn't listen to the other guys. Okay? Whereas the executive committee has developed the habit of refusing to implement projects intended to benefit the SARPO community. For example, in May 2020, during the height of the global coronavirus pandemic, for example, in May 2020, during the height of the global coronavirus pandemic, the board of directors of the USA approved COVID relief fund in the amount of $10,000, and the executive committee was entrusted with the implementation of the project. Listen today. Listen. They were entrusted with the implementation of the project. The intent was to help purchase relief supplies for the SARPO people living in Liberia. After approximately a year, the executive committee has not released the COVID-19 relief supplies, and the leadership has not reported any information about what was done with the association's money. Okay? See, that $10,000. President Geleo did not implement that. No report whatsoever. Nothing. The man is beyond reproach. The man is above everybody else. He does anything. Yes. The association money, all efforts to inquire about the coronavirus relief fund have proven fruitless. Okay? Green doesn't care. So they went on to say, whereas the board of directors has made serious efforts to cultivate mutual friendship and cooperate with the executives on several occasions, but met with outright negative responses. Listen to that. whereas the board of directors has made serious efforts to cultivate mutual friendship and cooperate with the executives on several occasions, but met with outright negative responses. For example, the guys are giving you examples, everything. They're not just talking. For example, during the homegoing celebration of the late Honorable Mabutu Vla-Yimpa, the United SARPO Association in Americas selected 2 representatives, one from the board of directors in person of Mistress GBLAH Foley, and one from the executive committee, Mr. Augustus Saleh-Taffin, National Vice President. Travel allowance was approved by the representatives to present a statement of sympathy to the Yimpa family. Unfortunately, the executive committee led by Mr. Green Geleo deliberately refused to disburse the allowance allotted to Mr. GBLAH Foley, the board of directors representative, but unreasonably, and gave the allowance allotted to Mr. Staffing, the national vice president of USA. See that blatant discrimination. Man, they would get the money. The people approved the money already. Instead of giving both of the representatives the money that they want to give the vice president. And that's what sort of division the men causing the organization. Since the return of the national vice president, Mr. Augustus Saleh-Taffin, the executive committee has now submitted the necessary report to the board of directors. No report. Okay? Considering the vital role that the United SARPO Association in Americas has been playing in the lives of our people, the board of directors hereby resolved the followings. Number 1, that the board of directors of the USAA is the sole body entrusted with the duties and responsibilities as the second highest decision-making body of the USA to protect the Constitution of the association. Number 2, that in view of this unique authority granted the board of directors by the USAA's Constitution and the General Assembly, it was resolved during the board teleconference held on February 28, 2021 by a simple majority vote that the National Executive Committee term of office have expired except for those elected as chapter heads. Okay? So those elected as chapter heads will remain in place. 3. All right. I don't want to start controversy right now, but let's go ahead. Number 3, that Mr. Geleo, Green Geleo, former president of USA, and all members of the National Executive Committee elected with him cease to function in their respective capacities effective immediately on this 5th day of April 2021. Number 4, that all members of the Financial Committee shall not transact any business in the name of USA. Remember, the funds of the association belong to 8 members, and the former executive committee and financial team members who may attempt to do business in the name of the organization will be doing so at their own personal risk. I want to read that again. Now, all members of the financial team shall not transact any business in the name of USA. Remember, the funds of the association belong to 8 members, and the former executive committee and the same former, right? They are not present, they are not current. Remember, the funds of the association belong to 8 members, and the former executive committee and financial team members who may attempt to do business in the name of the organization will be doing so at their own personal risk or peril. Number 5, that the board of directors shall consult with the various chapter presidents and appoint the National Elections Commission to conduct the forthcoming general elections. The elections will be conducted during the meeting of the General Assembly in August 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida, USA. Number 6, that the former president, Mr. Geleo, and all members of the executive committee elected with him who are interested and eligible to vote are encouraged to contest for leadership position within the USAA during August 2021 elections. Okay, so the guys are still eligible. Those that are eligible to contest, if you want to still occupy a position, go through the democratic process, come on, can't face that beat you democratically. Okay, now let's say that end the communication here. This board of directors resolution was difficult to compose, but it is needful for the sake of unity. As members of the board of directors, we believe that we were elected and empowered to guide, protect, and or promote the mission and vision of USA, and it is our hope that this board resolution, this board, B-O-L-D, this board resolution is unequivocal, unequivocal, that's a word. Equivocal is kind of ambiguous, but when it is unequivocal, it is unambiguous, it's clear, okay? Protect and promote the mission. Let me read that again. As members of the board of directors, we believe that we were elected and empowered to guide, protect, and or promote the mission and vision of USA. It is our hope that this board resolution is an unequivocal message to all members that this union shall not be held hostage to personality or personal interests. The plight of our people remains paramount to us as we pursue the achievement of the goals and objectives of USA. Therefore, let the word go forth that the interests of the United SARPO Association, let me read that again. Therefore, let the word go forth that the interests of the SARPO people will be well served through good, caring, and humble leadership. May God bless the USA, the SARPO people, and the Republic of Liberia. Respectfully yours, His Excellency, Honorable, distinguished, astute, erudite, the great man, Mr. Usaa, the chairman of the board of directors of the United SARPO Association in Americas. Bow, sigh. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got for you tonight. President Geleo now is history. Every long journey has an end. And this is the lugubrious end of President Geleo. The uncelebratory end of the president and his team. How sad. How is it that a euphoric, happy story, when President Geleo came to power, everybody was unanimous. 1 second here, I'll get a call coming in here. Hello, Mr. Joe, you were on the Voice of SINOE.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me connect it to the other speaker here.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I think you're audible. It's kind of...
Yeah, thank you. That's how you put it, ESOTERIC.
You're welcome.
Am I audible?
You are clear.
Okay, by way of introduction, this is Woto Jawi. I'm one of the board members. Doug, I really want to commend you for your efforts.
Thank you. Thank you.
You took upon your own time and perused the documents to the public. Not all of us have the patience and the luxury of time to sit down and go through such huge documentation. So I must appreciate your effort.
Thank you.
To the public, we want to let you know that the ball is on top of the game. And what we have done today is to guarantee the safety of your resources. You know, in any community, in any organization, as long as people start venturing around the organization resources, the finances, that community, that organization is at the edge of confusion. And so the board, they cloth with the responsibility to be on top of these things. We cannot sit idle by and watch group of people, group of friends, you know, ripping up our financial resources and putting the organizations at risk. This is how we have come to stand up to them. We know we have some misunderstanding in the past. We went through some situation in the past, but this particular one we have before us is far different. On the board, you have about 99.9 super consensus of the board that gives approval to the decisions that turn out to highlight the aspirations of our leadership team. And everything is being outlined today. Somebody was asking questions why the vice president didn't discharge. No, this is not an impeachment or let's say decision. This decision stemmed from the fact that the term of the leadership was over in August, according to the Constitution. We should have had elections last August, but because of the pandemic, we did not have a convention, so there was no election. However, the term of the administration was over at that time because the Constitution covered up the board. The Constitution covered the board by saying that when elections are not held and there is no replacement for people on the board, their term is being extended. And they're the only group that have that leverage. That leverage was not given to the administration. But being that the administration wanted us to stay in power unconstitutionally, being that they wanted to hijack power, being that they wanted to use the resources any way they want to use it, they didn't agree. They started putting a whole lot of games for them to stay in power forever and ever. And that's how the Elder Council intervened. When the Elder Council intervened, we all agreed. Again, the Elder Council recommended to us what needed to be done. The same administration aborted the process, doing things that were not required by the recommendations of the Elder Council. And all these things put at risk our resources. Look at the documentations, money being withdrawn with all the authorizations of the board of directors. No, that's not the culture of the United States Association. The Constitution is well explicit. Before you take anything, there's a way to do it. You do a voucher to the board. The board scrutinizes the voucher. They agree, they approve it. Go and take your money. You don't get up in the morning and go to the bank and withdraw money. First of all, that's an impeachment, or let's say, attitude there. But we are not going to that level. We're not going that far because we know very well that the term of this administration was already over. We just tried to work with them, and they didn't want to work with us. So if you didn't want to work with us, of course, then you leave. So this is where we are. And we want to appeal to everybody in this community that what is going on is not between two different sets of people in this community. It's between the administration and the Constitution. The administration is the one that keeps stabbing the back of the Constitution, people ripping up our Constitution, trying to destroy the Constitution, because any leader who doesn't have any good intention, the first thing they start attacking is the Constitution. The board is only coming as a referee. They say, no, there is foul play in this thing here. What you doing is wrong. You need to stop. And this is what the board is doing. This thing is not between, let's say, New York and California. It's not between the certain group and certain people. It is between the administration and the Constitution. And now that we have arrested the situation, we want to appeal to everybody. Everybody whose signatures were affixed at the bank. We want to appeal to everybody that submit. Submit because we are in there to ensure that the resources of the associations are safe. There is nothing, there is no options on the table that anybody can put before us to compromise the resources of the association. At the end of the day, everything in that account must be accountable. Thank you for the time.
Okay, Mr. Jawi, before I let you go here, let me ask some follow-up question. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. The question that I have is, I mean, you said there were misunderstanding in the past. I don't know how long that was. I mean, why now though? Why you guys decided to take action this time? You know, before then you've been kowtowing to the leadership, to the executive. Why now?
Yeah, the reason we didn't just want to use a single instance or maybe few instances to jump on the bike of anyone. People will not get the clear picture. They will not know actually what went wrong. All of you will tell me like you develop hate and dislike for the president or maybe a so leader. So then that's why we decided to say, okay, we decided to work with them. If you look at, if you actually we put some documentation out, you will see that they both have written the administration on several occasions. Every time they not approve something, we write them and register our disagreement. That what you're doing is wrong. You need to stop. Most of the time, they will not stop.
But Mr. Jawi,
yeah.
How assuming I'm quite sure, given what we have been saying for a long time in the organization, the president group, I mean not all of them, but some of the guys, they get their own policy, their own way of thinking. I mean, if those guys decide to succeed or to break away from the organization, what mechanism do you have in place to avoid that?
No, the point is, look, whether you will have the situation arrested or not, when people want to break away, they will break away. First of all, I can guarantee you that on a database, people get added and people get broken away from organization. Some people get bold, they walk away. Some people don't find their interest, they walk away. Some people find the motive and mission of the organization very impressive. They come in to add to it. So we do not have control over who break away or let's say, or over who stay. What we have control over is to ensure that the resources of the organizations are safe. And once you put remedy into place that ensure the safety of the resources, you always have people coming in.
Okay, all right. Hopefully, the breakaway will not happen. Hopefully, you guys are now in charge. You will be able to reach out to people that will be disenchanted to pacify them.
And in addition to that,
yeah,
there's I don't see the reason to break away, even though I don't have no control. But I don't see the reason to break away because there will always be one another type of association in the America.
Yeah, but your former secretary is saying that a lot of bureaucracy, and those guys don't want to be part of the bureaucracy. So they can say, okay, because of the bureaucracy, the Constitution, we don't want to follow it, so we want to have our own thing. Well, we'll do stuff randomly. So we want to establish our own thing.
Well, I actually want to disagree with my big brother. I think there was an oversight on his part to refer to documentation he himself compiled as bureaucracies. No, I disagree with him.
All right, Mr. Jawi, thanks for calling. Thanks for your input. Really appreciate your congratulations to you guys for at least finally standing up to the national executive.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. There you have it. There you have it. That's a voice of the one of the board members, Mr. Boto Jawi, to the leadership, to the executive. Why now?
Yeah,
excuse me, guy. All right, so there you have it. If those I want to participate, the number is down there at the bottom, the crawling. Let me put it up here again. If you want to say something, you can come on. You know, this is a major development in your union. What do you think? What do you make of it? Do you think the board did the right thing or did the wrong thing? What is your thought? What do you think about it? I'd like to hear from you. This is a major development for the board to say, you know, now we are in charge of the organization. That's serious. So we want to hear from you guys. Let me see some of the comments that are trending here. One, the people that want to come, you can come. If you want the link, send me the link. But the number is right there. I just posted it again. It's on the screen there for you. 267-648-8149. Call that number and I will pick up your call. Let's see some of the comments here that I'm looking at. It's gonna. All right, let me see. I think the comment is big, but let me see what the host of the SARPO Nation, what he said. What I saw coming and crying every day and night, that the president and director of the board must compromise with each other for better understanding. But the president took me to be enemy and refused to answer my call or response to my text for a year. Now the time has come. So Mr. former President Geleo brought this on himself. That is so right. That is so right. President Geleo should have gotten the message when Dr. Ayopole left. He should have readjusted and said, no, you can't let the sage, the sagacious Homo sapien, the great man to leave. Because I can see through what is coming. A sage is a wise man. Sage, S-A-G-E. He sees. I see the future, and I can prognosticate. I was telling the president, you are headed the wrong direction. Come back on course. But the president wasn't listening to the moral voice of the people of Sano County. Let me see your call coming in here. Hello, you on the Voice of Sano? Who's this?
Oh, this is the CEO of the SARPO Nation.
The SARPO Nation. Welcome, board, sir.
Okay, thank you. Am I clear?
You are loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Even though I've read a statement, but myself, saying I have time, I want to come and get moral values and get put some duties inside so people will hear my side. So because some people maybe they may not read the comment, but they think I may say something wrong. So I just want for me to come live and then say something about it.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Mine is just tomorrow I will try, around 12, 10 o'clock, I will start breaking news will come because I said I got a document that I want to my radio station also. But then what I said was that what I've been talking from year to year. The only person that able to at least understand me and talk to me about it is Bishop Callum. He said, my man, I'm always watching you. If not because I will rescue us and the convention was disaster. Now that what you've been talking to the president and the board chair, you've been talking, but at least the board chair little bit, not even a little bit, but board chair willing sometimes to compromise. But the president, I don't know if people around him, I knew that guy for a long time, but I don't know people get positions they change. But I know people around him, he refused to listen to nobody. And I would even in planning to make campaign manager, they never volunteer for me for 2 years. I called him, never pick up my call, no respond to me. We are not enemies. I don't care whether we vote again, why another same organization. We are not enemies. And he fails to do that. I don't want to vote him, but what I saw coming, if I spoke the other time, I said down cloud, the spoke of the another side of association information, they can reply me right away. What's my dark cloud? Well, the last time I said no dark cloud are now falling. Because the thing is that they let people afraid that also say, see the constitution say, oh, last year I was trying a feeling, but we take a step away. The same way we take a step away to put people on the account, and the border are authority to say, okay, you know what? You want to tell the money, thing you don't tell, don't take this and that. We do everything that way. Now, why the poor men then can't see the poor people can't see, they say, okay, you know what? We don't want confusion. We don't want people to feel bad that you think that you want to bring from there. You want people to feel that way. So just come together. Then we put little documents together. The people, the constitution today, they will not follow. They say, we can't get constitution saying that and people bring different guidelines. But they feel that the constitution today, that they don't follow today. That the constitution, they lay the guidelines, the government they're trying to bring. All of director will get people there. The executive committee will get people there. Then the editor will get one person there. Then everything is correct. But they think it one way thinking, I don't know what happened. They don't want them to know about it. Why we are talking about it happening today? If anything happens in the organization now, that's how to baby Johnson, they will not tell you. Look at what happened in Belgium. Look at what the game was seeing that in Monrovia. When they put it down on green, he said the people fail to do what we're doing tonight. So why they say that I've never done something unstoppable? Why they will build a house and read what happened there? People are being around on someone that's the way they think that something that what works and oh, maybe you are doing the wrong thing. But people, everybody was happy. But why the men were not welcoming the open? That is something wrong somewhere. So you can listen to people. Now they are starting. The Minnesota people refuse to say, okay, the man, as now we son is the president, then he's the president of Minnesota now. Because the constitution is clear, nothing hiding. Nobody will say President Geleo is president. So we all the officials, we are focused now from today. Nobody, the only leader in the organization now, the only person that got the authority now that the board of directors, because that is what the constitution says. That constitution will put together, that constitution tell people in the country when you fail, and the president can after the constitution say when you fail to do this, they will execute. They tell people that what constitution says. So the time is filling. So I take the board of directors, even though I would try SARPO nation will follow in our direction to our own man, then we hear it, or I call my own show, but I take the time to take the board of directors for their action. Their action is overdue. But because the board of directors trying to respect the area, that's what they were trying to do. But so we hold them responsible too if we go count that money. And any money that shares the board of directors, they themselves will hold them responsible because they take time to take the action. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. That's Mr. Morris, the host of the SARPO Nation. You will be hearing from him to put it in the original language. All right, go down so they have a good day.
You too.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There you have it. If you have something to say, you can come, you can call, or else I'm wrapping up here. This is just emergency show. We had to do this ASAP to keep the community informed. So I'll put the number out there again. If you want to call, you call the number right there, and I will bring you on. Or else, let me see. I will just look at your comments again, and I will call it a night. You know, I gotta wake up in the morning and go to Jade or Bait or WRK. Hey, Duncan to you, how are you? Thanks for following the show. You got any input? It's your live. I think I read Mr. Morris's comment earlier. Let's see here. It's Clara Mana is watching. Mr. Mana, you want to say something? Mr. James Panto, while the board chairman did not write or chapter president, this is overdue. The admiration would be okay. That's the statement from Mr. Panto right there. All right, everybody got the view, got something to say. Let me see. I saw the communication coming in here. All right. All right, so guys, I think nobody here to have something to say. So that's it. President Geleo is now history. We call him former president now. Everything now, the law is now on the head of the board of directors, and sooner rather than later, things will be in place for the Florida 2021 convention. The COVID-19 restrictions are kind of been lifted now, so they shouldn't be. We just follow the protocols, and everybody will be wearing a mask. Some people gotten the vaccine, but the fact that you got the vaccine doesn't mean you should be reckless, though. But that's what we have it right now. Even though President Geleo is gone, we want to also reflect. We'll have a special show to reflect on the legacy of the former president. But in the meantime, tonight, I'd like to say congratulations to President Geleo and his team for leading the union for the past several years. Honorable Gusta the Taffin, teams, leadership is not something easy. While it is true that President Geleo got his negatives, he also has some positives. And so we have to acknowledge that. Of course, on the resume of President Geleo, the Nexus Quarter is there. On the legacy, on the resume of President Geleo, we have a good amount of money in our account. That is on his leadership, so we cannot take that from him. On the leadership of President Geleo, we had some fights, but the contract documents for the Nexus Quarter went through it. We got everything in place. The building was delegated was turned over to the people, even though it was a little bit bizarre. But those are things there's something he did. According to the carry some mattresses the other time. The computers are here. They acquired some computers under his administration and stuff like that. We hosted a couple of successful conventions on his watch, and so he did some good things. And he screwed up along the way, But I want to wish the president safe retirement. The United SARPO Association, unfortunately, does not provide retirement, stopping to lead us. The man enjoyed his $3,000 every year, $1,000, allowance. He used that, even though it wasn't for him per se. You got the Constitution, the document, the resolution is clear for transportation and contributions for the organization. So when the president is traveling somewhere, you can use part of that $1,000. And you can also take some money there and make a contribution on behalf of the organization and stuff like that. Now, what the $1,000 were for. When the president will come, I can remember when they came to 2018 convention here. Oh, my dear wife, Mariah Geleo, you have won yourself a beautiful, a nice 5-star hotel in North Dakota. The queen of our union, you have gotten yourself brand new 2025 BMW. Yeah, but President Geleo is a fun guy. I like him. Amidst all the back and forth, he didn't come public to throw tantrums. I mean, he screwed up here and there, but I like his equanimity and his poise and his sang-froid. He's not erratic. He's not somebody who gets angry easily. He's kind of that I can give him. He's a rhetorician. He will, when something happens, as though nothing happens, and the man will come and try to, speak all that Obama English, that Obama in our community now. When I was a small boy in Drawson, if you like, in Pine Town, when I won the farm, and when I came, and President was doing all of that. But G. Cloutier is a cool guy. He's a nice guy. Our Messi, he's a decent guy, you know, just that ideologically, philosophically, leadership-wise, we don't agree. But I still revere the brother. You know, I thought he would have brought something novel, something new on board. But, you know, unfortunately, I mean, a lot of time people blame the people that are around you, they control you. No, the man is not an infant. That's an adult. Yeah, so if you're coming to the leadership stage, you'll have bright people and non-bright people. People will be throwing ideas here and there. But your ability to decipher, to look at the ideas and amalgamate them, put what you want, what you think will be beneficial to administration, you take it. But President Geleo thought that, you know, since October, planning commotion, you know, will work for him. You know, the man can be planning confusion. No regular program that will push her forward. You know, so since October will get on the line, yeah, people, yeah, you know. But you know, that's not leadership. But it is what it is. President Geleo is in the history of the United SARPO Association as one of the leaders, and that cannot be erased. He's still our former president, Mr. President. I will urge you to do the honorable, the noble thing, to get the members, your supporters in Minnesota and wherever they are, to bring them back on board. That would be great on your record. You know, yeah. You say, well, the Constitution, the document that brought me to power, the document says that my time has expired. And the elders, they broke a deal for me to stay on for a little bit more, and I did. And so now the board of directors, they are in the chain of command next to the National Assembly. They are running the decision. Let all of us put together and go to the convention and support or vote whoever wins or whoever will win, the new leaders that will come. Let all of us support them to help our people back home. You know, Mr. President, former president, you went on the ground twice. You know what our people are going through. So right now, you will do yourself an honor to not make those people, your supporters, to want to push you to create another organization. That would not be good on your history. You are a young man, relatively speaking. You got a bright future out ahead of you. The glitches that you have during your administration should not deter you to do something on the contrary. And that will exacerbate your situation. You don't want to go that route. I love you, Mr. President. I love all of you in the union. I come here, you know, I say stuff. I mean, I don't insult people. I say the facts. I say the truth. Truth is uncomfortable, but we have to say it. Yes. And that's why I love Socrates. You know, the gadfly of Athens. I'm the gadfly of the people of Sino County. And so I will pester you. I will get you angry with ideas, with truth. You went astray. I supported you diligently from the beginning. When you were going all over the place, when you were president, wherever you went, it was globally broadcast. A relay when you were in Liberia, everything will be carried on every platform you think about in the world. You will make that your presence. Any move you made, you made at the time was made ubiquitous. Everybody could see around the world. But when the sage sees you going astray and he gives you pieces of advice over and over, or if you let plethora of times, and you don't want to listen to him, then of course, we got to do what is right for us, for all of us. We cannot make one person to jeopardize the progress of the union. So, Mr. President, we want to say, enjoy your retirement. We are still here. You are former president. We will be reaching out to you here and there for your thoughts, your leadership experience, and the new leader, if you want to give some ideas. The fact that you are not in power doesn't mean your ideas are antiquated, they are not valid. you still need everybody ideas. I mean, we don't all agree, but that doesn't mean the other man I don't agree with, the person doesn't have good ideas. You just listen to everybody, and you take that what we call philosophy, they call it eclecticism, taking every bit from everywhere, you put it together. Yeah, so sometimes I consider myself eclecticist. Take the good ideas. People bring different ideas. You look among them, you take from everywhere, and you implement that. So I want to say to all the officials that served with the President Gio. We want to say to the Vice President, Mr. Gosset Tafen, thanks to you guys for leading our union up to this level. To Mr. Moyen, to Mr. Otika Swain, to all the officials, the chair lady, and everyone else. We want to say thank you for your service. We still need all of you. They should not deter you to stay away from the union. If you stay away, you are not doing it to those of us in the U.S. You are doing it to our children in SINOE County who are looking up to us. We are doing it to our elders in Liberia, in SINOE County that are looking up to us. You are doing it to the mothers, the fathers, and the youth, everybody else in SINOE County that are looking up to us. Let us put our differences aside and move our union forward. August 2021 will be in Florida to elect our new leader. And by now, as the sage of the SINOE County and the SARPO people, I can predict to you for sure the next incoming national president of the United SARPO Association in the Americas is Her Excellency, Madam Frances Clark Myers, who are called the Cleopatra of the SARPO Nation, will be your next president in August. And again, the United SARPO Association will be made whole again, because the woman believes in unity. She believes in bringing the people together amongst different ideas. People will get angry with her, they will say things, but she got thick skin. She will use that and say, what? Our people get that parable. When you are a leader, you are like a dumpster or a dump site. The people will put the trash on you. You can say, they put the trash and you get angry. No, then you are not a leader. You ignore them. And you say, like Jesus will say, they don't know what they are doing. Okay? You don't say it to them, but you say it internally. They don't know what they are doing. Go and sin no more. Now our leaders do. That's why I kind of like Geleo a little bit, but so that he gets out of character. But he didn't come probably a whole lot to be fighting people. He said something he wrote one time. He said, you can say whatever you want to say about me, but have control over my reaction. That was good. So Mr. President, everybody else, we want to say thank you for following the Voice of SINOE. We want to call it a night. Enjoy the rest of your night. I hear something and I have disclosed something to you. And so let me play that again and we'll call it a night. No, as a matter of fact, I'll play reconciliation after we heard what was in the making. And we have told you, let play reconciliation by the queen of traditional music. It's now time to reconcile. Let's put our anger aside, our emotions aside. Let's put our sentiment aside, and then look at the mission of the organization. What is the mission of the United SARPO Association? Is to help our unfortunate, unprivileged people in Liberia, the people that do not have economic opportunities. Those are the people who have to put in the picture and not ourselves. That being said, that's it. Enjoy your night.
Anyway.
All right, guys. I just challenge. We're not here to force to fight. You know, we are only here to tell you the unfolding developments within our community. Have a supercalifragilistic expialidocious night.